Welcome back everyone to the Enclave Reconstruction Authority, where we have vanquished the NCR, we took over Baja California, and now we're in a bit of a pickle. And honestly, I kind of wish, like if you're playing Germany in vanilla and you manage to take over all of, say, European Russia after invading the Soviet Union, and suddenly you gain access to all their industry, all their infrastructure, all their, maybe not population because it's not core, but every single resource and factor, whatever that was there, no problem whatsoever, and there's no resistance against your rule. I kind of wish stuff like what happened here, with all these negative things with California resistance, the collapsed government, the anarchy part. I mean, sure, these are a bit more specific to just the Enclave taking over such a big territory that is that we're not really prepared to take over. But still, I kind of wish some more negative things where you kind of have to integrate stuff first before you actually gain any kind of benefit from them. I do enjoy this a great deal. So now we have to rebuild a nation. This is probably why it says rebuilding a nation and not just become the USA. Eventually we will be the United States, but here we have, for example, uniting the states of America with the Gannon Doctrine, or as firm as a granite. Unlocks the ability to teach the raiders and tribals that freedom is the sovereign right of every American. Or here, unlocks the ability to use America's careers to incorporate settler and tribal nations into the reunited states of America. So we have two choices here eventually that we have to go along to pick either way, seeking allies or defeat the axis of evil. We have incorporating the Nevada Rangers and support cause masses of the Wasteland, manifest destiny. Every state claim gained by Enclave Reconstruction Authority, Minister of Commerce. Yeah, we have a lot of things here, but this is not the time to pick here between either seeking. I guess we can do both, maybe. Seeking allies and defeat the axis of evil. But instead we have to fix our nation. Then we can go about uniting the States of America. Because if we take a look here around our little nation, what is happening? We are out of manpower, we are out of war support. Not that war support in this case matters a super great deal, but still. Our legitimacy is down the drain after having been positive. We don't have any civilian factories whatsoever to repair our stuff or to extend our infrastructure or to build more factories or anything like that. We don't have the resources needed to producing what we need to produce. Especially currently we don't have the resources to build any kind of gunship whatsoever. And since we don't have any civilian factories, we can't really trade for anything. So yeah, a bit of a pickle, but we'll get through it. I think, not based on anything in particular, that the fate of our democracy going down here in Power Congress and then Voting Rights Act, so we will boost up our legitimacy quite a bit, could be really good to fix our nation and remove the unstable government part. The unstable government, right now is the collapsed government, which doesn't really help if you look here. Weekly stability minus 0.5, so it's going to go down faster and faster. We also have the Californian resistance, which is not very good. But that one doesn't seem to lower things by the week. This is like a ticking time bomb with the weekly stability lowering and lowering and lowering. The same with the anarchy thing. So we would like to get rid of both the anarchy and this whole collapsed government part. Not really sure how to get rid of the anarchy aspect yet. I'm sure we'll get probably law and order. Yeah, that makes sense. And then we can go with the rule of law, or we can go with the new order, which would minus 18% consumer goods factory, fix the anarchy part, revive the judiciary, which will replace anarchy with underfunded justice system, and then the Federal Bureau of Investigation, or indefinite martial law. I think going down the rule of law would be better. This seems like a more autocracy part. We're trying to go with the proper democracy part. That's why we're the reformed Enclave, not the purity Enclave. We're the reform democratic Enclave. That's what we are. That's what we're going for. So we will go with the fate of our democracy first. That's a 40-day thing. It's going to take a while. In the meantime, is there anything we can fix around here? Maybe we should establish some defensive perimeters just in case that things go down that we really don't want them to go down. So maybe we should take out some of these power armor dudes into a new army. That should not be in its own thing. There we go. It will be led by Ulysses, who was mentioned before. They will be tasked with defending over here in case the Caesar's Legion gets any kind of thoughts about invading our land. So we will have them guard all the... Is this got to be this one, right? How do I see this? They're warring someone else currently, but still, we don't want them to do anything bad to us. Let's see, here we have this one. There's a lot of landings here, as you can see. We probably need more men than we already have. Just guard these positions. Thomas Remy Rim falls ill. What am I doing now? No. Okay. I'm getting through a lot of things here, and I accidentally clicked through something. The disloyal opposition. One of the greatest surprises of the past few years is that Grant C. Hayes, Enclave loyalist and Dayglow mayor, has begun fighting with the President Granite, or with President Granite. Hayes was raised by the Enclave's elite, but somehow the subjugation of California has radicalized this American patriot. Hayes has spoken out in favor of ghoul rights, greater aid for impoverished wastelanders, and even the need to respect the tribals. This morning, Hayes took to New California Public Radio to announce the formation of a new political party, the New World Party, and that he will push for greater rights for all Americans. He's also rejected the crisp military attire of the Enclave's elite for the casual alternative attire New California is known for. Hayes stands as the heir of the best of New California and New America. And he has some thoughts on this indefinite military rule. This isn't how democracy was supposed to go. Alright, fair enough. The end of the reformers. With the Enclave's rule expanding across Nevada and the destruction of the die-hard purist, Granite has become a precedent in fact as well as name. Granite's supporters no longer call themselves reformers, for they are no longer just Enclave scientists and officers, but include Brahmin barons, casino owners, caravaneers, salvagers, vault dwellers, and even a few couriers. This is a problem. All of these people have different drama and... drama? Why did I get drama from dreams? Dreams and visions for America. Granite can keep them united for now by saying his priority is reconstruction, but this will not last forever. And if Granite stands for nothing, then what will he fall for? Democracy seems a lot messier than the old book said. Okay, so intellectuals will now be called the Reconstruction Party. A world of tyranny and serfdom. With the liberation of California, America's cause seems brighter than it has in 200 years. But there are those who oppose to the belief that all men are created equal. Caesar's Legion and the Brotherhood, guided by unholy contempt for the human race, have formed an alliance against us. What? No, please don't. Sure that the Brotherhood is already dead, but still, please don't. They know that if left unchecked, the United States will save this country, and so they've asked for war. Oh no, the enemies of America have begun to gather against you. They will prepare to solidify their alliance and move upon you. Oh no. The national anthem. The United States, or United States in this case, must choose a national anthem. Some say we should stick with the Star-Spangled Banner, or perhaps Battle Cry of Freedom, but Secret Service spies in the Boneyard found a holodisc at a pre-war bar called The Eagle by a singer named RuPaul. Her song American is a hit with the troops, for she's the stars and stripes flying high, red, white and blue. She is me and you, she's American through and through. Okay, so what should we do? The Star-Spangled Banner yet waves. We rally once again, shouting the battle cry of freedom. The uncle can learn from RuPaul. I mean, if we're going to go with the whole American thing, we need a Star-Spangled Banner, don't we? So, you should join here. Okay, we need, I think, two more. You both will join here, and you will be set to guard this, and the Granite Defense Company, you will defend this. There's a lot of places there where they can cross here. Oh, here we have two more men that were not doing anything useful anymore, that is. They were very useful in defeating the enemy, but now they stopped. Okay, Okay. There was a lot of events, a lot of reading, a lot of things going on, and I even missed one event, unfortunately, because I was clicking through a bit too quickly. Stuff like that happens at times. So we have the 80s and... let's see, where are the 80s? Am I just blind? Can't even remember where the 80s are supposed to be. Well, they guaranteed someone anyway. Caesar's Legion has non-aggression pact, white legs, Caesar's Legion, the old country, great cons. What was it about the 80s? I don't remember. Anyway, it's no big deal, I mean, because since we had this whole war between the NCR where they and Arroyo defeated at least the Western Brotherhood, I guess we're not that worried, right? I mean, Caesar's Legion, sure, I am terrified of them. They are large and more importantly, they have a lot of manpower, they have a lot of units, and their economy is functioning. So they have everything on their side currently. We don't really have that many men. Sure, we have a fairly decent defensive position here, and oh wow. Our new vice president. Pause, thank you. As part of the reconstruction, Granite has decided to appoint a vice president, a power reserved to the president pursuant to the 44th Amendment to help manage the nation's divisions. Lynette would help reach an accommodation with the Citizens League and promote their dreams of a managed democracy where there is a place for everyone as long as they are in their place. Congressman Hayes would represent an accommodation with the New World Party, a promise that the reunited states will continue to stumble towards the greater equality and freedom for all Americans. But in his darkest moments, Granite wonders if Americans are ready for democracy. Perhaps the president should continue to manage the nation with a firm partner at his side. Sergeant Dornan has been invaluable since the fall of Navarro, and nobody would dare to challenge his orders. I will not make this decision lightly. Okay. The fate of our democracy. New Reno prospers under our rule, but we must decide how to govern the United States. Douglas's rule has been successful, and he's brought us back from the brink. The nation has been under martial law since the war, and he could cement his power, and frankly better than we could hope, rule. Or he could aim to restore the United States, risking losing control of the Enclave in elections and giving power to the natives. We were saying that we're going for the Empower Congress part, so it's time for elections. Empower Congress. The new Congress. Although Granite has decided to restore democracy, there are still many who express concern about giving everyone a say in their government. After all, look at the morass the NCR was. Vault City Mayor has suggested suffrage to be granted only to Americans who can something like their old citizenship test, okay? Or those with a clean genetic history. These wise citizens could select representatives who advise the president. Alternatively, we could adopt the old view of every man a vote. What part of democracy are you not getting? That's a good point. Okay, so we had something about a vice president here. More than 30% support. So we're not really deciding ourselves. I think, was it Hayes? Hayes seems like the best vice president since we're going for the whole democracy aspect of things. So we have the Empower Congress part. We have this. We should go the Voting Rights Act. That would give us even more legitimacy, which would be decent in these times and would actually put us on positive legitimacy. A very positive thing to be positive. All right. Anything we can do here? We have the Raiders here. All of the following must be true. Does not have national spirit, underfunded justice system. There's no way we're gonna avoid both of those, is it? Does not have national spirit, anarchy. And this one has completed focus, at least 6 divisions in Reading. Don't we have 6 divisions in Reading? All right. Well, what if we throw everyone into Reading here? And just reduce this thing. Because Reading is here, right? Now they will all be there. That should be 6. 7, in fact. That should be fine. So at least we can secure the northern border that way. We'll abort if... There we go, fortify the north. At most 5 divisions in Reading. By deploying significant forces in Reading, we can crush resistance in the area. We will get some base stability and army experience. Protect California's coast, at least 3 capital ships in the boneyard. Well, that's going to be a bit of a problem. We currently can't really produce many ships. Before the Great War, New Reno was home to a park full of rides and games called Nukaland. Although not as impressive as its East Coast counterpart, we could revive it as a symbol of the promise of the better times to come. And we can also test some experiments on the park. No, please, no experiments. Unless this theme park trains Deathclaws, pass. Well, it's better than the plan to poison the world's water supply. Why would we want to build that? No, we're not going to test on the people. Perhaps there was some really good benefit in the future. But, I mean, we kind of go at the face value of things. We care about people. We care about the people of the Wasteland. We want to give the people of the Wasteland freedom and equality and say. We are rebuilding the United States. And Ulysses falls ill, which is a shame. But stuff like that happens. I think this is enough to make sure that they can't just cross nilly-willy into our land. Plus, Power Arm is fairly good defensively. If we had any kind of civilian factories available, which we do not, even though we're somehow also repairing stuff, I'm not really sure how, then we could build up forts along the path here. Anything we could do over here? Gas energy weapons, we could unlock that, that sounds fun. Okay, we can't unlock that after all, apparently, based on something. Or maybe we need to have this first, not certain. We'll go with combat armor instead. Combat armor and portable radio. Even though it's a bit ahead of times. But we're always a bit ahead of times, aren't we? We're bringing democracy in 2281 a bit ahead of times. And soon the Voting Rights Act. That will give us plenty of nice positive things. Which, let's see, do we have any military factories now available? No, we still don't. But we have benefits. Free elections, we could do that route and remove the stuff with the... Let's see. We have anarchy, California resistance. Unstable government. Unstable government is pretty bad. We either want to remove that or... Let's see, what is it that was so dangerous over here? Stuff about the raiders. Does not have natural spirit, anarchy. I mean, we're gonna get that anyway, but we kind of want to avoid that happening in the future. So perhaps we should go down a bit on the law and order aspect of things. So we'll go down that route to try to remove the anarchy thing. Anarchy, bad. And also California resistance, we want to remove that as well as soon as possible. Bad. Bad, bad, bad. Honestly, this is also weekly stability. There's an aspect of why focusing on that first before the California resistance. But sooner rather than later, we will have all of California under control. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Brahmin barons and Vault City restrict suffrage. As it turns out, to some Americans, democracy is negotiable. Vault City and parts of Northern California are trying to restrict the right to vote to long-time inhabitants or requiring arcane citizenship tests. Their hope is to control who their districts send to Congress and keep the unwashed masses from having a say. You're all terrible people, or let me explain why that's illegal. Because you implemented a Voting Rights Act, Lynette can't play these little games. Yes. That is what we're going to do. Vice President Hayes. That's the one we wanted to have, right? Hayes, for all his criticisms of Enclave excesses, is a firm believer that America is the world's last best hope. By appointing Hayes as Vice President, we will confirm that our faith in the Great Experiment, and that a government for the people, by the people, and of the people shall not perish from this earth. God bless America. We would gain Vice President Hayes stability plus 10% and change in popularity of democracy 10%. And that is beneficial. Cancel non-aggression pact from the Mojave Brotherhood. Not good. I mean, the Mojave Brotherhood, or perhaps the Mojave chapter, is not that big of a deal. But the Mojave Alliance, on the other hand, is a much bigger deal. And I'm a bit concerned about these fellas. Though then again, they also have diseases leading to worry about, so they are not in league yet. Though, who knows? They might soon be. There might soon be. Alright, so how are we doing with this? Law and order is almost done. We can modify our government. We are at 999 in political power. Anyone here that we would like to have that could assist us? Could go with Felix Grayson. And we could also go with... Let's go with Felix Grayson as our Attorney General. Law or order? Since the NCR's collapse, New California has been rife with banditry, corruption and brutality. The NCR's ramshackle bureaucracy, already overstretched, has all but collapsed despite the Enclave Reconstruction Authority efforts to keep it in place. Gangs and barons rule as they please, and to get the state up and running again will require substantial effort. Some idealists in the New California Republic believe we need to restore a faith in an impartial judiciary, a law that protects the salvager and the Brahmin baron alike. Others think we should do other things, because this event showed up in my face right now. After all, a strict constitutional scholar might question how Granite even became president. To the Republic, a government of laws and not of men. The rule of law is what we're going to go for. This one is interesting, but we're going for this one. Rule of law, okay, there's a lot of things happening at the same time, because didn't pause. Okay, alright. We could revive the judiciary, underfunded justice system. Yeah, let's go with that. Raiders blow up a bridge. That's sad. The followers of the apocalypse, perhaps the oddest faction of the wastes, is not those Boy Scouts in powered armor or the Khans who probably never even heard of Mongolia, but rather the followers of the apocalypse. Neutral and respected by all, they have tried to bring a brighter future by teaching and healing. Unlike most other factions in the Waste, seek no power over men. Now that more Americans are beginning to see us as their lawful government instead of genocidal maniacs, the followers have asked to expand throughout these new reunited states. Although they might improve the standard of living, some fear their anarchist ways could harm our nation. But surely we can't persecute people because of their political beliefs, can we? You clearly didn't study our pre-war history, no anarchists in our land. We will ban the organization of these pot-stirring anarchists in our fair country. This will bar from diffuse support from followers. The Constitution guaranteed their right to assembly. The followers are formed that their presence in our borders will be tolerated, but not much more than that. We will gain some legitimacy and base war support. By distributing medical supplies to the followers, we can create 1,000 points of light in the dark of the wastes. We would get some population extra, we'll lose some resources and also lose war support. I think this is a good compromise. Alright, a lot of reading, a lot of events. A lot of cool events. A lot of cool events. Where free men shall stand. The tyrants of the waste have closed ranks against America. We must prepare for the war that is surely coming our way. Great. To complete, Caesar's Legion does not exist. Well aboard, AFC, one of the following must be true, does not exist, is in a civil war, is at war with Enclave Reconstruction Authority. Gets event, democracy, weakness or strength. We have 1,130. One day soon, there we go. To achieve our goal, which is honestly not the easiest one in the world, is it? The Brahmin barons, what is happening with them now? Even after crushing the rebels in the NCR, the Brahmin barons' wealth and power gave them a stranglehold on northern California. Some suggest we spend men and laser guns to break their power, while others suggest we cement their position in the reunited states at great cost to our popularity. Some wonder if there's a third option out there. Too bad we can't give them to Caesar. Well, yeah, that is a bit too bad, isn't it? Grabbing the bull by the horns. The Brahmin barons establish order. One of the following must be true, has completed focus indefinite martial law. All of the following must be true, has completed focus to Federal Bureau of Investigations, has completed focus the Voting Rights Act. More than 50% support for the New World Party. Not the barons of established order. Okay, so we have a bit of a... So how much is popularity now of the New World Party? It's 41% and lowers. What is the party that is increasing though? Orion Moreno, which probably should replace Orion Moreno. This guy. Maybe we should replace him. He's a loyal soldier and he's a good one, but we don't want him to boost up that thing anymore. So perhaps we should go with entrenchment. We'll replace him to avoid losing popularity for the People Party. That seems like a good thing. Alright, this one will increase the popularity of the democracy a bit more. Revive the judiciary. Excellent, excellent. We have Federal Bureau of Investigations was needed to have, so we'll go for that. Anyone else that is good and will boost the popularity of the or like what's called the People's Party? Monthly population, stability, no. Okay, so no one there. Disorganized army, we could change it to volunteer army. Probably should change that to volunteer army, let's be honest. It's lighting up there as if we can change it again, which you can't. Anyway, that's going to be very beneficial in gaining more men. Oh, we have a lot of technology to pick. Alright, gotcha. There we go. Get all that decryption. So, things are looking a bit better. We still don't have any, not military, but civilian factories available to us, but I mean, it's still looking a bit better than before, isn't it? It's a little bit better. Bandages. Bandages are always good, especially when your power armor gets a cracking in it. What you need is herbal bandages. As a pro tip, just in case your power armor gets a bit worked on. What's happening now? Raiders, fortify the north. Well, yeah, that's good. Good. We have done that. And hopefully we will soon be done with the Federal Bureau of Investigation that should remove the anarchy aspect, remove the underfunded justice system, and remove national spirit smuggling. During the police with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Do you have smuggling now? Or we had that before. We didn't really have smuggling, do we? We don't want the Brahmin barons to gain more power, so we're gonna have to want to get rid of them as well. 153 days, and I don't see how many things we can do to change how powerful or popular the People Party is. Yet we do need them to be in 50% support. I mean, we have the voting rights thing, and if we do the whole free elections, that will boost democracy even more. So I think we're done. If we do the free elections right after Federal Bureau of Investigation, I think we are on the right path here. And then we can do A Nation Reborn. Counterfeiters. With the collapse of New California's treasury, we are left to fill in the gap with Enclave Reconstruction Authority scrip and bottle caps. Unfortunately, this has left counterfeiters with the ability to inject false currency into the economy. We'll need to revive the banking system to put a stop to this. We're gonna have to do that too, aren't we? Revive the Federal Reserve and then do the whole free of bottle caps thing. Which will be all grand and such whenever we get to it. Annex the Xi. Damn, they have a lot of soldiers. They have a lot of soldiers ready. Ready to strike against us if they so desire. And we're soon fortifying the north. I kind of want to do the whole rebuild infrastructure thing, but it's going to take a while for us to get to that. We have legitimacy now, finally, which is always good. And I think we're going to get even more legitimacy as we go along here with these things. This doesn't actually give any legitimacy, does it? Federal Bureau of Investigation is done, which means that we can now go on to the free elections, unless we want to head on to like the yesterday's enemies and stuff like that. But we currently have, let's see, how much popularity? 49%, 49.81 to be exact. So if we do the free elections, we should have over 50% support for the New World Party, which in turn means that with that done, with these two done, we should get rid of the Brahmins Barons established order. So we put out one fire after like 10 or something that is going on in our nation. Though I think this will be it for this episode. We have re-established the Federal Bureau of Investigation. In the next episode we will continue on with the path to a nation reborn. Doesn't seem like we're going for the Enclave reborn exactly. but a nation reborn, which would give us United States and event for that. Last arguments are present. So that's going to be pretty fun. We'll see what happens. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.